Between two major cities in Kurdistan, Hewler and Silemani, lies the small town of Koya, officially known as Koy Sanjaq. Although the town is relatively small, it has made a significant impact on Kurdish history and culture. Around 80,000 people live in Koya. Though officially part of the Erbil Governorate, Koya stands apart politically. It has long been a bastion of the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, PUK, and to this day, the PUK maintains control over the town. Koya is located between the two cities of Erbil and Slemani, surrounded by mountains and accessible by only one main road. The city lies southwest of Dukan Lake, one of the most beautiful and popular tourist destinations in the region. Locally, Koya is built similarly to Erbil, with a citadel at its center overlooking the city. The citadel has stood watch over the surrounding valleys and hills for centuries. It was built as a fortress during the time when the Ottomans controlled the area. One of the workers at the citadel told us that it is a common misunderstanding that the city of Koya was built by the Ottomans. This misconception likely arises from the fact that the citadel itself was built during the Ottoman era, while the city of Koya is much older. However, local archaeologists have a very different view. They believe that the citadel is more than 2,000 years old, dating back before year zero, and was most likely renovated, not built, by the Ottomans. The strategic location of the citadel gave the Ottomans a commanding view of the trade routes that once connected Erbil, Slemani, and the Iranian borderlands. From here, rulers could defend the town, monitor movement, and assert control. But this wasn't just a military structure. Over time, homes and markets grew around its base, and the citadel became the beating heart of Old Koya. Today, the citadel serves as a kind of national park and open-air museum with beautiful greenery inside. Standing at the top of the citadel, looking out over the city and the distant mountains, one can't help but feel the pull of history. So right now I'm in Koya, a small city located in the Hewler region. It's around 100,000 people living here, and as you can see, we are right now on the top of the center where you can see a big view over the city. Koya's population is predominantly Kurdish, but there is also a small community of Christian Assyrians, reflected in the presence of several churches throughout the town. Before 1948, Kurdish Jews also lived in Koya. However, they fled to Israel after its declaration of independence due to increasingly harsh living conditions under Iraqi authorities. The landscapes around Koya are breathtaking, with rolling hills and fertile valleys embracing the town in natural beauty. The city's roots stretch deep into antiquity, with archaeological evidence pointing to a long history of settlement. Yet Koya truly flourished during the Ottoman period, becoming a modest but important center of Kurdish culture and scholarship. Over the years, it came to be known not just as a town, but as a cradle of poets, philosophers, and political thinkers. Perhaps the most famous of these was Qadir Koyi, a key figure in Kurdish literature and nationalism. Born in Koya in the 19th century, he used poetry as a tool to awaken Kurdish identity. His words still resonate today, calling for unity, education, and resistance in the face of oppression. His statue stands proudly in Koya, and people from the town continue to visit it to pay their respects. Another important Kurdish figure from Koya is the poet Dildar, the author of the Kurdish national anthem Ey Rekib. He was born in 1918 but spent much of his life in other cities such as Rania and Kirkuk before moving to Rojilat, eastern Kurdistan, to join Qazi Muhammad's famous revolution. However, he was arrested and imprisoned in Iran, where he wrote his iconic anthem. The town of Koya is proud of Dildar and has placed a monument beside his grave, which stands separately from all other local graves, a respectful act symbolizing the community's deep gratitude for his sacrifice. The University of Koya was built in 2003 and is today one of the Kurdish centers for research and development. With over 4,200 students, 6 faculties, and 27 academic departments, it is one of the town's proudest institutions. This room, called the Hallway of Dildar, is used as a meeting space for events and performances at the school. Like many cities and villages in southern Kurdistan, Koya has experienced conflict, displacement and repression, especially during the Ba'athist regime and the Anfal campaign of the 1980s. This section of the city's graveyard was specifically chosen for Kurdish martyrs during the Ba'ath regime. Walking through Koya today, one finds a city caught between tradition and modernity. Stone houses stand beside new developments. Old men gather in tea houses, while young students discuss science, politics, and art at the university. It is a place where Kurdish identity is both lived and expressed in everyday life, through music, dance, food, and language. In many ways, Koya represents the soul of Kurdistan, not because of its size or power, but because of its ability to endure, to adapt, and to inspire.